Good morning, students. Welcome to the science class. Today we continue our discussion on chapter 7, that is control and coordination. The last class you learned about structure of neuron, reflex action and reflex arc. In today's class you learn about human brain. A simple question: is reflex action the only function of the spinal cord? Obviously not, since we know that we are thinking beings. Spinal cord is made up of nerves which supply information to think about. Thinking involves more complex mechanism and neural connections. These are concentrated in the brain, which is a main coordinating center of the body. The brain and spinal cord constitute the central nervous system. They receive information from all parts of the body and integrate it. The communication between the central nervous system and the other parts of the body is facilitated by the peripheral nervous system, consisting of cranial nerves arising from the brain and the spinal nerves arising from the spinal cord. So, the communication between the central nervous system and the other parts of the body is facilitated by the peripheral nervous system. Peripheral nervous system consists of cranial nerves arising from the brain and the spinal nerves arising from the spinal cord. The brain allows us to think and take actions based on that thinking. As you will expect, this is accomplished through a complex design with different parts of the brain responsible for integrating different inputs and outputs. The brain has three such major parts or regions, namely the forebrain, the midbrain, and the hindbrain. The forebrain is the main thinking part of the brain. It has regions which receive sensory impulses from various receptors. Separate areas of the forebrain are specialized for hearing, smell, sight, and so on. There are separate areas of association where the sensory information is interpreted by putting it together with information from other receptors as well as with information that is already stored in the brain. So this is the structure of brain. Three parts: forebrain, it is composed of the cerebrum, this is cerebrum region. Midbrain, it is composed of the hypothalamus, this hypothalamus region is the midbrain. This particular portion is the forebrain. Hindbrain, it is composed of the cerebellum, medulla oblongata and pons. Forebrain, this is the forebrain, this is the midbrain, this is the hindbrain. Forebrain composed of the cerebrum, then midbrain is composed of hypothalamus, and hindbrain is composed of the cerebellum, pons, and medulla oblongata. Based on all this, a decision is made about how to respond, and the information is passed on to the motor areas which control the movements of voluntary muscles. For example, our leg muscles. However, certain sensations are distinct from seeing or hearing. For example, how do we know that we have eaten enough? The sensation of feeling full is because of a center associated with hunger, which is in a separate part of the forebrain. The involuntary actions are controlled by the midbrain and hindbrain. All these involuntary actions, including blood pressure, salivation, and vomiting, are controlled by the medulla in the hindbrain. The activities like walking in a straight line, riding a bicycle, picking up a pencil are possible due to the part of the hindbrain called cerebellum. It is responsible for precision of voluntary actions and maintaining the posture and balance of the body. Let us see once again the functions. The sensation of feeling full is because of the center associated with hunger, which is in a part of the forebrain. The involuntary actions are controlled by the midbrain and hindbrain. All these involuntary actions, including blood pressure, salivation, vomiting, are controlled by the medulla in the hindbrain. The activities like walking in a straight line, riding a bicycle, picking up a pencil are possible due to the part of the hindbrain called cerebellum. It is responsible for the precision of voluntary actions and maintaining the posture and balance of the body. The cerebellum is responsible for maintaining the posture and balance of the body. Some main structures of the human brain are the cerebrum. Cerebrum is the largest part in the human brain. It is divided into two hemispheres called cerebral hemispheres. The functions of cerebrum. The cerebrum controls the voluntary motor actions. It is a site of sensory perceptions like tactile and auditory perceptions. It is a seat of learning and memory. Hypothalamus. The hypothalamus lies at the base of the cerebrum. It controls sleep and wake cycle, that is circadian rhythm of the body. It also controls the urges for eating and drinking. Then cerebellum. Cerebellum lies below the cerebrum and at the back of the whole structure. It coordinates the motor functions. When you are riding a bicycle, the perfect coordination between your pedaling and steering control is achieved by the cerebellum, maintaining posture and balance. Now medulla. Medulla forms the brainstem along with the pons. It lies at the base of the brain and continues into the spinal cord, and medulla controls various involuntary functions like heartbeat, respiration, etc. And how are these tissues protected? How the brain is protected? A delicate organ like brain, which is so important for a variety of activities, needs to be carefully protected. For this, the body is designed so that the brain sits inside a bony box. So you can see inside the box, the brain is contained in a fluid-filled balloon which provides further shock absorption. If you run your hand down the middle of your back, you will feel a hard, bumpy structure, and this is a vertebral column or backbone which protects the spinal cord. Dear students, this is all for today's class. In the next class, you will learn about control and coordination in plants. Till then, bye, take care.